All right, so I recently had a customer ask me, can we do one pocket a red tag, one a yellow tag, one a white tag, one a blue tag, one a pink tag, let's say for example. And I got thinking about this, and yes, there is a way to do this, and it's a little bit different than you're used to doing it. Most people will load up the whole jig with one specific color and go cut them, or maybe load up 7 tags, cut those tags, reload it, reload it. This customer wants to do all their tags at once but have all their settings per tag change based on the color, right? So I'm going to show you how to do that. If we look over here on the right hand side, we usually have these two menus. There's two options here, operations. So now we got engrave and ignore. We're ignoring the jig like we are always. And we have this one just as a pretend like we're doing them all the same color. So now if we want to change each individual tag, I have these all grouped. So now we'll select that. And let's say, this is the thing is, you're going to have to know your settings for each tag color, so you might have to jot them down on a piece of paper to begin with. But let's say our yellow tag cuts better at 80% power, and let's say it cuts better at 180. Oops, 80. 80 and 180. Let's say that's nice. So now you see it says user defined here. So now what we can actually do is go save settings. And you're going to see up here, I made a generic material just as ear tag material, just simply for this one, because it's saving all these settings underneath of this material name. So I didn't want to like save it underneath my yellow ear tag material. I want to save this under just a generic ear tag material. And then every time I select that, I'm going to have these setting options. So now we're going to name this one. So let's say this one is yellow and black. We'll just call it YB. And you'll see why. So we'll save that one as YB. And now you look here and it says YB. So now if we go to the next one, we're going to do the same thing. Let's say we want to cut this one at 95% power. So let's punch 95 in. And let's say we want to go 210 millimeters a second. And don't take these settings for actual settings. These are just made up, but I'm giving you examples here. We're going to hit save settings. Let's just call this one brown. Or call it brown. So now we save that. So now if we go back here, you can see it's selected it as brown. We have 3 different operations. So now we have those 2 different tags are engraving at different speeds, different power, all the different settings that we want. And they're not labeled, yellow, red, or anything like that, but they are cutting at different speeds and feeds. It knows all that. When you hit process, it's going to run this at all different speeds. It's kind of like doing a grid array test, but you're defining the parameters per each section. So you could even go through and cut each letter a different speed or power if you wanted. If you want some fading effect or something like that, you could go through and do that too if you really wanted to. So that's kind of the cool thing is now we can go through and we have these 2 tags done. I'm going to show you, I have a whole bunch of these loaded up. So now these are all different, and we're just going to keep going through and we'll just keep selecting, we'll do blue and white. These aren't my actual settings. I just did this for an example video. But now if we go back, you can see they're all different. It's slowly taking out tags from this full jig that we had drawn up. And then all you have to do is hit process. So that's the easy way to go about doing this. But like I said, create a generic ear tag material to do this under, because if I go through and I actually go over to actual material that I have, we're going to apply that. I think we actually lose those settings. Let's just see. Yeah, I lose all those settings in here. So that's something to be aware of. Create a generic material. If you're doing multiple color tags in a jig, then you can even save it as multi-tag material or something like that. And then it gives you all your user-defined parameters in here. So that's just another way of doing it. It's a little bit more complex, but gives you some flexibility if you're doing multiple tags on one jig at a time. So I hope this video helped you, and check us out, www.eartagjig.com. Thanks for watching.